Hello! Welcome back to Go Get That Rose. We are covering Season 16, Episode 2 of Clare's Journey of the Bachelorette. I am your host, Sarah. With me, as always, is my co-host, J Wade. Hello, Jay.
Hey. I'm stoked.
Woo! We are getting into the meat
right now because I got so much to say that that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, let's just get into it. This episode, I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. Anyway, let's get into this episode because there's a lot to talk about. First, overall thoughts, Jay. What did you think, just as a whole, of this episode?
I thought that I started to miss Tyler C. Like as a comparison to Yosef. I mean, I started to miss Tyler C. The double standard is back, and man, she didn't just roar, she screamed, and let the past go. I guess so. Yeah, cool. Whatever.
What are your thoughts? Like, how do you still feel about Clare now getting more into like the dates and seeing her actually be the Bachelorette?
Well, I think that she definitely is coming across to me, at least, like she wants credit for being a strong woman and her past decisions and how far she's come in life and standing up for what, and more power to her. Like, I'm glad that she's not, letting people walk on her or she's doing what she thinks is right and stuff. But like, she just seems to be seeking praise for it and seeking attaboys or attagirls in this for it. I don't like that. The same thing with, and I'll get into this too, Yosef once again invoking his daughter to try to make him stand out and be somehow more somehow superior.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of, like, I don't know. I'm not big into seeking the recognition. Like, it's cool for someone to give me a compliment and recognize my journey in life or whatever, but I don't know. She seems to, well, she got mad at the one dude. Like, you don't know nothing about me. You don't know that I'm a strong woman. And
we'll get into it.
It's like, dude, chill, girl. I mean, now I get it in that case, real quick. I know I'm getting a little bit ahead, but in that case, I get it because literally he didn't know anything about her. So that's fair. But I mean, I don't know. It just still the way she kind of was like, you don't know anything about me kind of a way. And I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me. This is insanity.
Oh, well, we'll get into it.
Darren said Yosef is the wordy.
So my overall thoughts, I thought this was a great episode. Lots of drama, but not like Peter drama like last season. That was all drama. Like, that was like good. Yeah. After watching literally probably like 8 seasons in the past 2 months, I'm really used to like the routine and can like pick out certain things about how these episodes are structured, just like producing parts of it. And this episode, there was definitely some things I noticed that it just feels different. Like, I don't know what it is. And I think it is because we know things are about to be different. We know something's coming. And Clare is constantly throughout the episode, like, Dale's my favorite, Dale this, Dale that. And there's rumors about who she ends up with and all this stuff that I feel like, and it might just be me being crazy, but I feel like they're editing it different, where they're not really spending a lot of time with the other guys and their ITMs, like doing their interviews, talking about people. Like, there is a little bit of that, but really, I feel like we're not really getting to know some of the extra guys. It's really just the main players and the main guy that she has interacted with. But there's a lot of guys that I have no idea who they are because we haven't had a chance to really just see them, like, interact. Like, like the normal stuff where they'll just ask some random person, like, what happened, and then they put it in. But I don't think they're really doing that, which feels a little off. Like, there's sometimes that I feel like there should be background music playing, and there isn't. And I don't know, like, it's just kind of, it's a little weird. But overall, I really like this episode. I screamed a couple of times. I was cheering a couple of times. We'll get into it.
Real quick here, our friend Kaylin said instead of worrying about his daughter seeking or seeing his ass on TV, Yosef needs to worry about looking like a manipulative sexist dipshit.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that. I have some things to say. But real quick, I just want to talk about Clare from last episode to this episode. I think I definitely hear what you're saying about a lot of it. There were some times when she was talking that I did feel like it was kind of like she was looking for not applause, but looking for people to be like, yeah, you have gone through a lot, or just like that kind of support. But watching all of the seasons she was on, and really watching the first season that she made a lot of reference to her season on this episode, and I mean, she never talked about how she was in an abusive relationship before. We've talked about it last week. But the fact that she was like, I came on the show to get away from him, and I acted this way because I was in this really bad relationship. After watching that season, it all really makes sense to me why she has acted the way she has throughout all her shows, and why it was so important for her to stand up to Juan Pablo, and why she says, like, I felt strong, because she even says it in the episode, like, I'm able to talk about, or I was able to stand up for myself, and I've never done that. I was getting super emotional because I have seen her grow in this progression, and it all makes sense why she's a strong woman. And I'm just like, yeah, girl, you go. I think sometimes I do feel like, and that's the Clare we love, that sometimes she is, what's the word? She knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to get what she wants, and I respect that. I think that makes good TV, and I think that's why they made her the Bachelorette, because she won't put up with shit from any of the guys.
Right.
So I have definitely seen her mature, and I love that, but there's still some of that Clare in there, which I love that too. And yeah, so let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, and I mean, her, real quick to touch on her not putting up with crap, you know what I mean? Like Hannah B and all that kind of stuff. Like this, Clare ain't putting up with shit, right?
No, she's not, and I love that.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we need J Wade for Bachelor, because I ain't gonna take no shit. I mean, you want to see something real, dude? I'll boot half of them broads out the first night just because I think they're stupid. And I don't mean like look like superficial.
Really? Okay, bye.
Yeah, like look like, dude, I know that I'm not going to be able to handle you. There's no way. So we're getting you out of here right now.
I love when they do that. It makes me so happy.
So far, and I've not seen many seasons at all.
There's at least one person every season that the lead makes them leave.
Well, everyone that we've seen on the very first night, I've seen at least 3 or 4 people that I would boot out the very first night, just because But then again, to be fair to the lead contestant, whether it be a bachelor or a bachelorette, they don't see what we see at home.
Yes,
like they're outside meeting the next guy, so they don't hear what we hear of these guys inside being douchebags.
Exactly.
So, you know.
Yeah. So.
But still, J Wade for Bachelor.
But that's why you would just kick them all out regardless. You just be like, I don't like you. Bye.
I'm sorry. Well, everyone gets those feelings where whether it's right or wrong, good or bad, someone can say something or just give a look, and you just know. You're just not interested. Doesn't mean they're a bad person or you don't like them. It just means you're not interested in pursuing something romantically. Right. If I feel that, like in the first night, I'm gonna tell you to leave, because I ain't gonna waste nobody's time. It's the way it is.
Yeah. You know what? I'm on board. J Wade for Bachelor. Let's go. Let's jump into it. Everyone's on board. Let's jump into it. Our first group date we had, I don't know who was on the date, honestly, because like I said, I don't know any of these guys except for Dale and Yosef, but I know Dale and Yosef were on the date, so there we go.
I do like how they're keeping Chip in the other group. Like when they split the big group up, and they have like half of the guys go on a group date and then the other half are staying at home. I like to keep Chip and Dale separate so that, you know.
Who's Chip?
Dude, Sarah. It's a joke, man. Come on.
Oh!
Chip and Dale.
Yeah, okay, wow. Woo, just showed my age there.
Come on, Miss Disney girl.
I was
Rescue.
like, are you... I'm wearing my Disney shirt, too. I was like, are you trying to say that, like, one of the other guys looks like a chip? Like, I didn't really get it.
No,
Like,
I saw an opening and I ran right through it. So.
woo! Well, moving on. So, on this group date, we had love languages, which I think was super cool. I love that idea. They did not do a good job explaining what love languages were. And they had all the guys, I mean, they didn't do, acts of service, but they had all the guys, like, do a love language to her, which is not, okay, so I'm really big on love languages. I think it's super important in a relationship. It's good to know what the other person, how they receive being loved and how they like to show love to the person that they're in a relationship with. That's really what it is, which they kind of just had them just do these things without explaining that. So like Claire I think she said like she's a big physical touch person. That might be how she likes to show the person she's with that she loves them, but she might like to receive her love language, getting it back that she knows that she's loved might be like gifts or acts of service or...
Yeah, because mama needs a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, like that. So I think that's super important. They just
living in a material world.
They just did not do a great job kind of explaining. But because at first they didn't even say, like, they should have started out and have been like, there's these many, I think there's 5. These love languages, this is what they are. We're going to go through each one. It just cut to her looking like a princess, being like above everyone in this Rapunzel looking tower. And all the men come up to her and they're like just giving her this speech. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, how is it words of affirmation?
Like, I mean, like you. No? Like,
the one guy,
mine.
Riley starts like, all of them were saying, like, I'm here for you. I'm here for the right reasons, whatever. Of course they're going to say that. No guy's going to show up and be like, yeah. But Riley starts...
Later on, I'm sorry, but that's not necessarily true, Sarah.
You're right. Well, he was on this date, so he would have been terrible. But Riley starts quoting some poem, which I'm like, get rid of him. Gross. And then Dale stands up and he's like, I don't even know what he said. And she is eating it up. And I'm like, ugh, I don't. Yeah. We'll just jump into it. How do you feel about Dale? Because I do not like him at all.
There's something about him that I don't like, but it's not like I'm rooting against him kind of a thing. Like, so far he's given me no reason to think that he shouldn't win. But I mean, there are definitely other people there that I like more. Yeah.
And that I like her with more. Like, I don't know. He just seems so bland to me, and so like he is saying all the right things that she wants to hear. Like, he doesn't seem genuine to me at all.
No.
So I don't know. But yeah, there's Dale right there. Dale. And then it cuts.
Let's see what happens then. Chip will be on the next group date. Let's see what happens then.
And then it cuts to the men just running around the resort, and the other men that didn't go on the date, they're in the pool. And I'm like, is this the end of the date? Because they didn't explain what was happening. Yeah, I was like, is this the end of the date? Are they running back to get changed? Like, I don't know what's happening. All the guys are commenting on them. They said Bennett's running like a Giselle, which, by the way, I'm obsessed with Bennett, the Harvard guy. I love him so much.
American Psycho.
I love him. They walk into his room and he has all his shoes lined up, and he's like, there's only 7 days in the week.
Oh my god.
I love him so
Maybe
much.
he should be the next Bachelorette.
No, I would. Sorry, Nick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Anyway, so they're all running. They all grab things to give to her as a gift. Which, did she actually keep them or did she return them? I don't know. I'm confused. The one guy gave her his chess piece, the queen, and he kept the king, which I thought was super sweet. But Dick was kind of watching it with me, and he was like, "That's lame." I was like, "I think that's sweet." I don't know. He is a classic dork, but I love him. He's so precious. The one guy gave her like his shirt, which was weird. And then Dale gives her this doggy perfume, which, first of all, why the heck did he have that with him? Like, was he just like, she's gonna have her dog? Like, that's weird. Because the other ones, I could see, like, the guy brought chess, so that's why he had it. And the guy had the shirt with him, so that's why he brought it. But why did he bring dog perfume? Like, that is so weird.
Dog, right?
Yeah, but he didn't bring his dog.
Well, no, I would assume, my guess would be that they told them before they left to go filming that, bring some sort of a gift for her, whether it be something sentimental to you or something relating to her.
I don't think so, because it was all things they already had.
Oh, well, I don't know then.
Yes,
that is very, very odd.
It was just weird. I don't know. And then we got to the weird part of the date when they start doing physical touch. So they blindfold them, and one at a time they go up, and they're both blindfolded, and they're like touching each other. And she's like, "I'm a real smell person."
Yeah, and I almost just made a joke. Go ahead.
It was like, so then she's like touching Dale and like moaning. Like, it was really awkward. It was really awkward. I was like, oh my gosh. She's like,
those other dudes were just kind of like, okay. They definitely know who the competition is, man. For like, there is
yeah. I think they're all picking it up. And then the last one was quality time, which led into their cocktail party or group date party. I don't know what, not cocktail, whatever. The after party. I don't know.
They call it a cocktail party. I remember because at that point in time, because I actually got to watch it live this time, or as it aired. So I remember specifically they did say cocktail party because I then tweeted out, I can't wait until Bachelor so that we can have a vagina tail party. Woo woo in the house.
Moving on.
Yeah.
So this is when we start to get this is when we get a little bit of the drama. Claire's like, I can't wait for the guys to just sweep me away and basically fight over me.
I'm sorry. Did they spray her with Lysol between each dude? Oh my god!
I don't know if they have to. Do they? Like,
I would imagine they do. Honestly, I mean, they're so hardcore about the whole cleaning things right after someone else has handled it and all this sanitizing.
Yeah, but if they've all been tested for COVID like multiple times, like they're probably not even work. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Anyway, let's move on. Great question though. So Claire starts. She does her speech normally, and I don't know if it's produced. Normally, someone will just like take her away right away. Like, so I think that's what she was expecting for the guy, like a guy to just hop up right when she was done and kind of take her away. Now I'm thinking, is that produced or producers like, you need to get in there? Or did the producers this time say like, hey, Claire's going to take one of you guys aside? Like, I don't know, because it was awkward.
I got a completely different vibe.
Go ahead.
Okay. From a male perspective, yes, obviously they are all there to win her, basically, is the prize.
Are they?
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. They all signed up to win her, so they are there for her. They wouldn't, if it weren't for her, they wouldn't be hanging out with each other. So that whole notion of them like not being there for her, whatever, they are. Okay. But that being said, I just think it was a group of guys sitting around killing time until whatever was going to happen next happened next.
Yeah.
And she walks over and they're just you got to understand, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But they don't know what's going on. Like, they don't know what they're doing on a date and all that. She knows what's going on because they're like, okay, this is what we need you to do next. We need to do this and that. I can just totally see it being as innocent as them sitting around having a good time, just kicking it until she got there. Then once she got there, I mean, they don't know what to do.
That's
as a
true.
group or individually, you know. So I'm sure they're all just kind of waiting for her to take the lead. I think she really, really overreacted. Well, first of all, okay, her comments when she was walking away, I thought she was kidding, and I was like, cool, she's got a sense of humor. I dig it. She's, you know, poking fun
When
at him.
she was walking away with Bennett, where she was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you guys made me feel bad." That was.
Yeah, well, not so well, but I mean, like the, you know, don't everyone get up all at once and all that.
Oh
I thought she was messing around with them.
no, I knew she was serious.
That dude, your American Psycho guy,
Bennett.
which she never did end up back to him. What he get, like 2 minutes, if that, with her? But
Yeah.
I think she overreacted with all that. That was reminiscent of her and the Juan Pablo. Not saying he didn't deserve to be chewed out, but I am saying, like I said a couple episodes ago, when she told him, or, you know, she made that gesture with Juan Pablo, like, no, like, there's nothing more to say. We're done. Don't touch me. And she walks away, and then she stops, and she still got more to say. I don't like that. Like, if you got something to say it. But don't just keep talking as you're walking
Well,
away.
I think she was shocked. Like, I think she was just confused and didn't know what to say.
But in this situation, it was reminiscent of that for me.
I do think
I am not done fucking telling them off. I got more to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back, and I just thought that I just thought she was a little bit out of line there.
I mean, I agree. I think she definitely overreacted. We have the picture when she came back. That's not a great picture of her.
I see it. I'm sorry. Now that you put it, I see it now.
She's like,
that's vulgar.
But yeah, she came back, and this is when we start with the Yosef thing, which I noticed. I like realized they didn't really show him talking to her in the Rapunzel Tower. They didn't show him with a gift. They didn't show them physical touch. And the whole time he's sitting on the couch when she's like giving the speech. Even before that, he's just sitting like chilled back like this, like all the way back. Body language like not into her already at the start of it. So then when she comes out and I see her point. If you're there, the Bachelorette, you waited this long, you know, you would hope that the guys would show some kind of interest. Like, I don't know. Kaylin
was innocent.
Kaylin did say, where was it? She said, my perspective was that she sat down, which made it seem like she wanted to stay there a while, which I agree. It did, because then she said, when no one like hopped up right away, she was like, so how's everyone tonight? Like, she started to kind of engage with the group, so I could see where they probably thought like, oh, we're just going to chill here for a while, and then she's going to pull one of us aside. I think it was just miscommunication or body language or something like that. But so Yosef was like, I'm gonna speak for the group, and then Riley was like, you don't speak for me. Like, which I'm like, good for you, like, good for you standing up.
Yeah. My
problem was the other guys start standing up, and they're like, well, we'll take you right now, like, we're so sorry, we're gonna show initiative.
Like freaking bees on honey, man.
Yeah, they all stood up, and she was like
surrounding her, kind of.
I know.
Guys, this ain't, you know, this ain't.
She's like, I'm not done. I'm not done talking yet. But then Dale, as soon as Dale's like, you're right, I'll never let that happen again. I'm not going to let these 10 other men get in my way. I'm going to show initiative. She was like, thank you, I appreciate that. But didn't say that to any of the other guys that said the same thing. So I was like, okay. Then we get to the strike one with Yosef, where he goes, oh, well, you're crazy to think, which I was like, dude, don't ever say that to a woman. Do not ever start your sentence with, you're crazy to think that. Like,
yeah, like you give the explanation first and then end it with, that's why you're crazy.
No, just don't say crazy.
Oh, you're saying don't say it at all.
Don't say crazy. Just say, because he was like, I was trying to say that we were all here for her and she shouldn't think like that. But don't say, like, you're crazy. Like that. No, because she's not going to hear the rest of the sentence. She's going to hear, you're crazy.
That's why you say
no. That's, yeah. Don't do that. There's a lesson for you men out there. Don't ever call her crazy, especially when she's already mad, because then you get the boot, okay?
Don't take my advice. Don't do that. Don't.
So then him and Riley start fighting, whatever. It's just drama. But you can tell that Yosef is checked out, like, at that point. Which, the whole episode, he's just, like, bitching about everything. And I'm like, dude, go home. Like, if you don't like her, go home. No one's making you stay there. Now you just look bad because now you're just here for fame, obviously, and your daughter. Anyway, we'll get into it. He just makes me so angry.
I like this guy.
So, I mean, Riley ended up getting the group date, which I don't know if it was here or later, but Claire basically told Dale, like, I really like you a lot. And I just think it's hilarious that Dale is like, I didn't get it, but it's okay. I'm like, dude, she told you that she likes you. Like, you have nothing to worry about. You are in the clear, my dude.
Well, I mean, okay, well, first of all, I've said it before, this is all stupid because there's no way you're falling in love with somebody. And it's all this show does is it brings back the stupid high school feelings. And that's exactly what's going on here. Like, even though she told Dale that she likes him and that as an adult in the situation that he's consented to be in, he should take that and be comfortable in the situation. But all this show does is it reverts people back to the high school mentality. And now all he's thinking is, but wait a minute, she said that she liked me and she let me think that I'm okay. But like, she's given this guy a rose and talking to this guy and that kind of stuff. It overruns everything, all logical thinking. And so he just needs to chill, man.
Yeah. Just chill. Chill, Dale. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so then we get our. I don't know what you just said.
I said say pillow.
No. So then we get our 101 date, which this. Hold on, so sorry. This 101 date was with Jason, which I didn't know that was his name. I thought his name was Chasen, which is another guy. So we have Jason and Chasen, and this date was intense. I was like sobbing. Like, this date was crazy. I think I'd be mad if I had to do this on a first date. Like, they wrote letters to their younger selves, and obviously he probably talked about whatever trauma in his auditions for them to be like, hey, pick Jason because he's got, well, even though she was like, I could see it in your eyes that you mask everything with humor, which I'm like, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much they actually pick the people to go on the dates. I think a lot of it is like.
I think they organize and pick everyone and everything. I think they know exactly what they're doing and they tailor everything for those people.
The lead?
Their past, everything. The dates, everything.
No.
Yeah.
I know that. No, they don't. Because the dates are planned months ahead. Like, especially, maybe not this time. I think she probably had more say in some of the dates. But when they go out and they're going places, they're, like, planned months in ahead. So a lot of it is just like, hey, these are the dates. Pick who you like or who you think would go well with these dates or whatever.
I think they let them pick who goes on dates. I think they pick who they think will fit best.
You think the producers do or the lead does?
The producers.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I think they're like, okay, right now this drama is going on, so let's have this guy go. And also he would fit in good with this date because it relates to him in this way.
I thought you were saying that the lead plans all the dates. And I was like, no, they
No. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I meant the producers. Sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah, agree. The leads.
Dude, the lead ain't that's just a face that's getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
If they don't care about whoever the lead is, male or female, bachelor, bachelorette, they don't care. All they care about is what's going to get them the ratings and stuff like that. It's just,
I think the lead has a little bit of say on the one-on-ones. The group dates, I don't really think they do. But I think the one-on-ones, they have a little bit more starting out. But I think once it starts to get to the, like, down to the wire, you start picking out more people, the 2-on-1, it's kind of like, well, these people have beef, so they need to be on a 2-on-1 date or 2 or 2, whatever it is. Or, I think that's one. But just starting out, I think it's like, who did you really like? Who did you vibe with? We think this date will go well with this kind of person. You choose. I don't know.
need Christian Harloff and Rachel Cushing on and explain some of this stuff to us. Give us a behind-the-scenes peek. So listeners, viewers, tweet out at them and let them know they need to come here and answer.
Yes. Any producers on the show, please come and answer all my questions. Thank you. I have lots. So the 101, they wrote letters. They talked about deep stuff. They burnt her dress that she wore, which I was like,
it was ugly anyway, but I'm colorblind.
I liked it. It was like green, and it was definitely like a prom dress.
Yeah.
Like, it was okay. I liked the date. I liked the fact that he didn't come out and say, because he kept saying, like, I have a lot of demons in my closet, or I have a lot of stuff going on. And I guess I respect the fact that he just wasn't like, this is everything that happened. But, I mean, he kind of alluded, we think it had to do with his parents and probably other stuff. I don't really know. Which, that's his own personal information. If he doesn't want to share it, he doesn't have to share it. Like, that's just how I feel. Like,
well, I mean, if I just met you, I wouldn't tell you my mom and dad did my baby either. So,
well, sorry. Did he say that, or are you just saying that?
Oh my gosh, Miss Sarah.
Well, we're having a great.
He said it right before they broke the tablets against the rocks.
Is that what they were? They were tablets? Okay, so full disclosure, I was doing like 20 things at once, so I was more listening than actually like watching. So when she was like, we should throw it up against the rocks, I'm like, you're gonna throw a piece of paper against the rock? How is that gonna break? I didn't realize.
I honestly don't. I assumed it was some sort of a clay or something able kind of thing.
Yeah, because when I looked, it cracked, and I'm like, what were they writing on? Kaylin said, did you notice that how shit-faced he was? I didn't think he was drunk. I just thought he was maybe he was. Actually, their date was super late, so he probably was drinking before, because it was at like nighttime. He had all day. Like, he probably, when he was writing that letter, he was probably like taking shots or something. Like,
right. And I'm sorry if I missed something about his family, his home life with his folks, and I made improper jokes. I apologize. But I'm with Sarah. I kind of sometimes I check out for maybe 2 or 3 minutes at a time.
On the one-on-one dates, I tend to just kind of zone out because I'm like, drama, whatever. But I thought it was a really nice date. I really like them together, honestly. Like, I kind of really like him. I don't know. We'll see. He might.
I like he opened up. I mean,
yeah, I like that he didn't was just like, I'm not going to do this. I like that he actually went along with it.
Yeah, I like that too. That's solid.
Yeah. So before we get into the second group date, which we have lots to say, we're going to take a quick break real quick, check out some of these things from other shows that you can find here. Yeah, that's what it is.
Hey everybody, Sean and Wade here to tell you about our new review show following each episode of Disney Plus's The Mandalorian.
Dude, yes, Boba Fett!
Not exactly, Wade. Set in the Star Wars universe, The Mandalorian takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi and follows a Mandalorian bounty hunter beyond the reaches of the New Republic.
Yeah, Boba Fett.
Did you even watch Return of the Jedi? Never mind. Join us here every week on the Merc with the Movie blog feed. Thank God Kaylin will be here too. I don't think I can handle Wade on my own.
Hey, Jay Wade here to tell you about SEN After Live, our SEN Live After Show, where we talk about, well, whatever Christian, Brett, and the rest of the crew talk about and the insanity that ensues. So join us each week here on the Merc with the Movie blog feed on your podcasting platforms, as well as YouTube now on the SEN After Live channel. Talk to you then.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean. You guys might know me on this feed from co-hosting Beyond the Screen, but now here at Merc with the Movie Blog, we have started a brand new show exclusively for video games called Game Over Screen. So join me every week with my co-hosts.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Brendan.
And I'm Tyler.
As we talk about everything video game related, and when we, I guess, get to the game over screen. I don't know, I don't have a good pun for that, but the joke is that we're going to die a lot in this game.
Well, you might.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. Hey guys, it's Sean. I wanted to tell you guys about the new show I'm hosting, the Harry Potter Review Show. Every other week, I'm joined by some combination of Kaylin, Sarah, and one guest that has never read the books. We discuss one movie per episode and break down what we love about them, what we don't love about them, and the differences from the books to the movies. It's a ton of fun, and I hope you guys will tune in to check it out. Until then, mischief managed.
And we're back. Make sure you go check out those shows. I am in a couple of them. And yeah, if you want to hear more of me and Jay, go check out the other shows are on. Anyway. Okay, let's get into group date number 2. We have dodgeball. More importantly, strip dodgeball.
Where's Winston Marshall when you need him? Because you know he's a dodgeball player, right?
Is he really?
Yes, like he like every year they have this big I believe it's national dodgeball tournament event in Las Vegas. Yeah, like he's on a team and like
what?
League and all that. Yes, ma'am.
They didn't ban dodgeball because they banned it in schools, which is so stupid.
No, it's yeah. Well, I mean,
love dodgeball.
We're adults, Sarah. Come on.
That's true.
Dodgeball.
I used to get so mad when they got rid of it in like high school. I was like, that was the only thing I was good at.
Well, me too, because when we got to play it, I was in junior high, and then they didn't play it as much in high school. But when we played it in junior high, I was always picked last, and I never really got to participate much. And then by the time I got to high school, and I was a little more athletically inclined, didn't get to play. But anyway, dodgeball.
Dodgeball. The card said, show me your balls, or it takes balls, or something to do with balls. I don't really know. Yeah. So it was the red versus blue team.
Yeah.
And I mean, lots of jokes about balls, of course. What's to be expected? So we got the red to blue team. Chris Harrison shows up. They're going to play a game. It's the typical every season. They have some kind of date where one team goes home and the other one gets to go to the after party. Every time. I don't know why people are shocked every time. Like, watch the show, people. Anyway. So Claire, out of nowhere.
Darren said blue balls versus red balls.
Claire, out of nowhere, is like, let's raise the stakes. Let's make it strip. Which I wonder if that was literally her just throwing that out there, or if that was the plan.
That's not her idea.
You don't think so?
That's the show once again pulling that double standard bullshit as far as like over sexualizing the genders and shit. Like there's no way in hell they would do that with the women. There's no way in hell they would do that kind of shit with women.
I didn't think
with either one of them. But if you are gonna do it, be fair about it, man.
Yeah, I didn't think that they would actually go that far. But it seems like it was the men that were like, okay, let's take it all off. Because I don't think she was like, okay, take the underwear off now. Like, they were like, some of them did it. And the one guy was like, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. And she's like, it's fine. Like, you don't have to. Like, it's fine. So I don't think she was like, yeah, like expecting them to, but maybe she was. I don't know. I would feel super uncomfortable. Like,
well, would too, but
no, thank you.
She sure as hell wasn't afraid to look.
I don't want to see your ding-a-ling.
No, she wasn't doing that. Though.
Chris Harrison was like,
yeah, but you saw Claire, dude.
She was like,
she was scrolling her eyes back and forth down the line.
I mean, girl, do you? I don't know. Like, it's been a long quarantine.
I'm not saying nothing bad. Like, I mean, if there's a line of schlongs in front of me, I'm gonna skim through and take a look too. They're there. Just saying.
Yeah, that's okay. Caitlin said a couple of good things. It's a plan because they were in the cups.
Yeah.
Which I noticed once they took the underwear. I'm like, yeah, this had to be planned because they would not all be wearing
Right.
whatever. And then she said they do the lingerie wrestling in The Bachelor, so it's not a double standard. They do a lot, but not like they would never do strip anything with females,
Yeah.
like ever. I mean, like there's been times
They wouldn't even put women in the position of, like even saying like, if you lose, you have to strip. That they would never.
I don't.
But for some reason,
They
it's
might.
to do that to the men. I don't know. Whatever.
I feel like they've done something like this, but I can't remember if it was Bachelor or Bachelorette.
Oh, you would know.
Yeah, I feel like there was. I know there was a time on it was Chris Soule's season that they all went swimming, and some of the girls like completely like just went skinny dipping. But he wasn't like, hey, we should go skinny dipping. They just started taking off their bathing suits. So that's like kind of different because he wasn't really like initiating it. But anyway, so we have the date, and some of the men are upset, but my thing is, I get being upset.
I'm sorry, real quick. Darren pointed out
she hugged them.
So she was obviously not upset by it whatsoever.
Again, you do you, girl. Well, we get Blake. There he is, teddy bear, Canadian Blake. Was pretty upset by the whole thing, but my thing is kind of like, you didn't have to do it. Like, she wasn't going to be pissed off if you didn't do it, obviously. Like, I don't know. That's just my kind of...
Man.
Because she said, should we do it? Should we do strip? And they were like, yeah. Like, they said yes. And they were all to say, like, no, I don't feel comfortable. Or even some of them were like, I don't feel comfortable. I don't think she would have been like, well, get out of here. Like, we'll leave. So the red team won, pretty whatever. The blue team went home, adding more fuel to the fire for Yosef, who wasn't even on the date.
Yeah, I know.
Who was like, I would never do that. I don't want my daughter seeing my bare ass on TV. And I'm like, shut up. And he literally reminds me of Juan Pablo and someone else who I'll bring up in a little bit. But he reminds me of Juan Pablo, who during his whole season, the whole time, he was just like, my daughter's going to see this. I don't want my daughter seeing me kiss all these women, like using this as excuse. And I feel like that's what he's doing a bit. So, yeah. I don't know. He just kept complaining the whole time. The guys are upset. They had the shorter little one-on-one date. Blake, teddy bear Blake, goes and he interrupts. All the guys are pissed off, obviously. What did you think about that? Did you think it was the right move on Blake's part?
On Blake's part?
Yeah.
Okay. I have two sides to this. I would say, no, personally, I think it was a bad move. Like, you should have just let it go and take your punishment like a man. Walk home naked and spend the rest of your night sulking in your room. Okay. But it was a really risky move, him doing that. And when he first did it, I was like, dude, I was afraid that he was too much of a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, the first time she was into the bad boy breaking the rules thing, but maybe this might be a little bit.
Maybe it was a step too far. Yeah.
Now I will say, if he does it a third time,
I think it'll be too much.
Dude, yeah, you can't be doing that shit. But like, he's lucky that he got away with it the second time.
Like, in this case, it kind of made sense because he was like, I wanted to show you that I had balls or whatever, like playing off of the game of it, which I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, that's funny. I didn't know how she felt about it right away because she was kind of. She was like, I appreciate it, and then she didn't go in for the kiss. Yeah. So I wasn't sure if she would really like that kind of thing, because I think she respects everyone else's time and stuff like that. So I wasn't sure if she would like people coming in interrupt time. But, I mean, we'll just jump to it. Obviously, it worked, because he got a rose right before the rose ceremony. So, obviously, she liked it. I like Blake. I don't know. He seems like he gets attached really quickly to people.
I can
like,
see that.
You know what I mean? Like I just met my wife.
I mean, and like I've said before, Canadians are too nice. You're too nice.
He's gonna get his heart crushed. It's gonna happen. He's gonna be heartbroken, little Blake.
Man,
The
maybe
last,
future Bachelor
I could
or
see that.
Bachelor in Paradise at the very least.
Bachelor, I do not see him as a bachelor.
I kind of don't.
I mean, we already have a bachelor for next season, but down the
And
line.
then imagine if he is the attachment thing. No, imagine him getting attached to 30 women. You know, he never send anybody home. Chris, I'm gonna.
Can I just keep them all?
Do it.
I would need one more.
Have to buy some land in Utah and move down to.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, here's the picture of. I loved her dress, by the way. Just randomly throwing it out there. She looked A1.
She got.
She's not nice.
So I'm just gonna say in a very polite and respectful manner, but she.
He's not nice. He's creepy. Yeah. I can see it. I think he's obsessive. I can see him turning out to be like super obsessive. Like, this is my woman.
He's Canadian. That's all I chalk it up to. He's really nice. He's a Canadian. What do you? That's what you're gonna get.
Let's talk about the other thing that happened on that date was Brandon, who I have a picture of him. If in case you didn't know who he was, because I have no idea who this man was until this moment. We got Brandon.
He's familiar. What have I seen? He
looks like an actor.
He does. He looks like
he looks like the guy from Catfish. Honestly,
I was gonna say like some sort of soap actor or something.
Yeah. That too. He probably is. Watch him be on like Days of Our Lives or General Hospital or something. Like, anyway, so Brandon sits down.
Bad.
We talked about it earlier, but Brandon sits down and he starts saying, like, I think this was his mistake, is that he said, when I found out it was you, I signed up.
Yes.
Then she's like, I mean, naturally, I would have asked, oh, like, what is it about? Like, why? And he was like, well, you're beautiful. And she's like, oh, okay, like, anything else? Like, I get that from her point of view. If someone's telling you I signed up specifically for you, you would expect them to say, like, because I like how independent you are, I like your personality, like, other than your looks, which I think was obviously the only thing he liked about her, because he thought she was smoking hot.
You're in the headlights look.
She's like, what do you...
Yeah,
He's like, she's like, you don't know what you like about me? And he was like, no, that's why I came on here to, like, find... He was really trying to backtrack. Like, we can learn about each other.
If he had worded it differently, because like you said, he said, when I found out you were the Bachelorette, I signed up.
Yes.
Which completely does imply that he knew things about her.
Yes.
And so now let me ask you this. If he had worded it differently, perhaps, when I saw who you were, I signed up, meaning you more in a way where it's still not a good thing, but in a way where he's like, I saw you and was like, you're beautiful. I want to know more about you. Because you can't fault someone for not knowing things about you if they don't follow that community.
Yes. It's just the way he worded it. Like, once it was you,
he would have worded it a little bit differently in that kind of way where, like, when I saw you, I knew I had to sign up.
Yeah. I think if you, like you said, if he would have said, like, when I saw it was you and I saw how beautiful you were, I was really interested into getting to know you better. I haven't really done my research, but, like...
No, because he still said, like you said it there, I saw it was you, wanted to get to know you better. He knew nothing about her, though.
But that's what I'm saying. I think if he would have worded it like that, like, more truthfully, like, I signed up because you were beautiful, but I would like to get to know you better. I think that would have stung less than him just being like, once it was you, I had to sign up. And it's like, that implies that you know a little something about me, not just my looks. I think if he would...
Definitely a dog move there. He showed his collar on that one.
He was like, I'm here to get married and find my forever love, like, just saying what she needed to hear. And she was like,
Yeah, he started to say something and she just goes, what, can we not talk about that?
Yeah.
Here, and I'm like, I'm sitting I live by myself, so it's not like I'm reacting to this with anyone else. When that came up, I'm like, oh,
I was screaming. I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
dude.
Well, he was like, well, no one else here knows you personally. And she's like, I'm not asking them to know me personally, but other people have said to me they like my drive, they like my personality, they like this. Like, you can't even come up with anything. Like,
and she's like, they like that I stood up for myself. And then based on what he said after that, it was clear that he was under the impression she meant her standing up for herself, like in that season within those last few days. Because then when she said that, he's like, well, I can't, how did he word that? How he's basically like, well, nobody knew anything until they got here. And I'm just like, dude, what are you talking about?
oh, yeah.
I know nothing about her, but via Sara, I know things about her.
Or even just watching her.
Impossible to find out. He made it sound like, well, what do you mean nobody could possibly know anything about you?
He was making it seem like, I mean, you've been there for a couple days. Like, you've interacted with her at least once. Like, you can't tell, like, oh, she's outgoing, or oh, she's bubbly. Like, so, like a bubbly personality. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't come up with that. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, your first instinct of someone, like,
her asking him, like, well,
she's funny.
But was that her fishing for or maybe not compliments, but
I don't think so. No, I just think
because she brought up, like, guys have brought up how I'm strong and all this stuff, and
I think she was using that as an example. Like, these people don't really know me, and they've already brought up qualities, and you can't even bring up one quality. Like, I don't think she was saying, like, I don't think she was using it to brag. I think she was just showing him, like, look, these other guys don't know me, and they already can name a couple things. Like, you can't say one thing. And I think I don't think she was fishing from him either. I think she was just curious, like, oh, what do you like? I don't know. If someone was to say, again, it goes back to, if someone was to say to me, oh, I came here to meet you because it was you, I'd be like, oh, why? Like, what are your reasons? Like, what do you know about me? Like, I can see that's why she was like, tell me what you know about me, because probably people also probably have a perception of her based on her old seasons as well as being, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I'd want to know, like, do you still think I'm the same person? Did you like how I acted? You know what I mean? Yeah. So
that's why he's been honest and been like, look, I'm sorry, but I'm not really familiar with you. Dude, even if he'd been like, look,
you were hot, and that's why I came on.
I've never even seen any of the Bachelor shows. I don't know anything about it. I was at my friend's house, and I saw a picture of you, and she said that you were the next Bachelorette, and I was like, man, she's beautiful. I just would like to get to know her. Like, if he would have even said that, he would have had a much better shot than what
I think if he would have just said, like, you're beautiful, you're hot, I don't know anything about you, I think, like, yeah, it would have been better. I don't know. Personally, I probably just would have been like, oh, okay. I probably still would have sent him home, though. I don't know.
But, I mean, at least he wouldn't have come off looking as much.
Send him home. That's his own fault for coming off looking.
Dude.
So she did.
Look.
Yeah, he looked terrified, like, oh, crap, what do I say? Like, she sent him home by Brandon. All the guys were like, oh, now we know how serious she is, that she's sending people home. Right before the cocktail party, by the end of it, again, Yosef running his mouth is like, I'm going to bring up, I think it's disrespectful. I don't like what I've seen from her. Ugh, gross. There's another guy. There was another guy on the past Bachelorette season 11. His name was Ian. And he came on the show specifically for Caitlyn, the Bachelorette, and was like, I love all this stuff about her. Halfway through the season, he sits down with her and he starts trash talking her and is like, I don't like the kind of woman you are. I think you're immature. I think you just came on the show just so you can make out and have sex with a lot of the guys here. Like, you're not intelligent enough for me. Like, literally laying into her. And I feel like that's kind of what Yosef is going to start doing as soon as they sit down next episode. But I mean, Caitlyn handled that situation very well.
Not because I want her to get an ass chewing or anything, but just because I want to see how much of an ass this guy can be. But I also got to say real quick, I'm sorry, but about Yosef, even assholes can be.
Yosef.
Yes. even assholes can be right sometimes. And I agree with them that, like, if I were on the group date or back there and saw those guys coming back, either way, I would be really turned off by that. I would be really turned off by that shit. And so, like, he's right in that way. You know, it is degrading. It's fucking humiliating. And so he's right, but he's still an asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
he can have his opinion. Like, that is his opinion to have.
What I really have an issue with is him invoking his daughter once again. Yeah. And he's doing it especially, well,
to get the sympathy.
Well, not sympathy, but superior. Is how I take it. Like, oh, well, you know,
I'm better than you because I have a daughter.
You want to degrade yourself? That's fine. I got a daughter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm better than you, and I've got, you know, and it's like, dude, quit doing that because that's a fucking turnoff.
Yeah. So we didn't really get the cocktail party at this episode. Blake got his rose, and she ends the episode with a conversation with Dale. So we don't really talk about the after previews or whatever, but I just want, well, because I'm interested to see what you think is going to happen. But
I don't like the spoilers on this, so I just like I like to take it in as it comes. So,
well, okay, so obviously we know you don't watch the previews, but obviously we have talked about there are rumors that Tayshia will be coming in at some point to replace Clare. I think we're probably going to get 2 more episodes with Clare. If those rumors are true, I think we'll probably get 2 more episodes. Kind of seems like they're leading up to the build of things. Obviously, I think next week, Yosef is going to go off on Clare during this. She's going to send him home, hopefully. I think that's going to happen.
No, he's the new Luke P. Remember? There's something in him.
I don't think she...
keeping him over Island.
I don't think so, because she was turned off by the way he was talking to her at the party. Yeah. She was getting upset with how he was responding.
Now, if Tayshia, do you think she'll just take over the rest of the season with the guys who are still left there?
So that is the speculation. It's also the speculation that there were people that were sent home, that they might just bring them back. Don't know how that's going to work. Or they casted 40 people, but only extra people just in case because of quarantine, but only 31 actually made it on the show. So maybe they'll bring some of those people in. I don't really know. Yeah. So I don't know. I think we'll probably get 1 more full episode with Clare. Maybe next. I think next week will end on a cliffhanger. Then we'll get some possibly Tayshia coming in. I don't know. We'll see. I'm
sorry. I got to do this. Kevin and Darren, who have been commenting throughout, everybody watching,
or listening,
they're a married couple, and I got to put this in here because here we go. Darren starts it off with
you're gonna put the whole thing.
Tayshia is the most attractive person in the history of the show, to which he then follows that up with, I have only watched but still. Then his wife, Kaylin Rose, says, the history of the show that you've only watched for a year? Then Kaylin says, or Darren says, yes, with the smiley face. And then Kaylin says, but agreed, she's so fine and so awesome. So... I don't know. I had to do that. I just love it. I love the couple interactions anywhere, but especially those two. Love those cats. But sorry, I had to share.
I agree. I saw that. I was cracking up. It's true. She is probably one of the hottest people that have ever been on this show. Yeah, she's beautiful. It's crazy. Yeah, so that's it for this episode. I had so much fun talking about this craziness. I can't wait for more craziness based on all these previews. I'm so excited. J Wade, until next week, where can the people find you?
Y'all can find me on the Twitter at JWade1134. That is the letter J, WADE 1134. Yeah.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at SCBock, SSEABOCK. You can follow our Twitter page, Go Get That Rose, at Go Get That Rose. I didn't really tweet a lot last night because my internet kept going out trying to watch the episode, but I retweet a lot of other people's stuff. I try to do some polls. It's a great fun time over there. And you can also follow the Merc When a Movie blog feed and that Twitter at movieblogmerc, and check out all the other shows. We got more shows, lots of new shows in development and all that fun stuff. So yeah.
Real quick, hey Mando, if there's any Mandalorian fans out there, hey Mando, our Mandalorian.
There's no star.
This Friday, we're back. 6:30 p.m. live Eastern time on
Woo,
Merc.
and we will be back next Wednesday live 7 Eastern time. See you guys then. Bye-bye.